Greetings everyone, it's Megabonicman 3000 here on the first commentary of Ramp.NES with
BionicGirl103
and PBcheckit.
So guys, what is your opinion on this episode?
Well, considering it's the first episode, I think it went pretty well. I liked the intro where you introduced everyone. The voices were good. And I liked the music that you actually went with it, too.
PB?
Yeah, overall it was a pretty good first episode. I mean, it could have used a little bit more backstory. I mean, like BionicGirl said, it did introduce the characters, but if there was more like of a worded description of where the little backstory into though, you actually do cover that pretty well in later episodes. So I mean, overall it's a pretty good first episode. Very good voice acting, stop motion. A lot about this I like.
So what is your opinion on like certain scenes, most likely for this episode?
Let's see. Well, the very last scene where was that was like that scene. That was one of my favorites. Yeah, I think like the very beginning scene where they were just in to them standing there just talking. That gives you a general feel of their personality, sort of. Electra and forget the other red guy's name.
Mamere. That's the other red guy's name.
But I mean, they do a bit of a kind of showing personality moment there. But yeah. Yeah.
BionicGirl?
Well, we're continuing where PB left off. I like Cosmo. I like her voice. I like her stop motion. Her personality mixes in with everything else, and so does the other characters. You do got some good stop motion there. And like what PB said, a little more could have been added. But just get me for the cliffhangers, okay?
Surrender.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of cliffhangers, especially in the first episode too, and that sometimes usually doesn't really happen in a series most of the time, ending it in a cliffhanger, and usually beginning, or sometimes usually when a series starts, it sometimes doesn't really like jump into like the actual thing. Sometimes it has to have development, even though that it already does have like somewhat of developments on there.
Wait,
so yeah.
He joined you as an elite to your era.
There could have been more added on there, but then again, I kind of didn't want to, like get in too much.
Because then you'd be trying to see what's with cliffhangers now, would you?
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, note that most of the people aren't. Some of the people who you see on like the introduction isn't really going to be like voicing on there as you see or as most people may have seen in the description. Yeah, at least I gave them like somewhat of credit. At least they tried. Oh yeah, did you know that originally Chaos was going to be voiced by the Shadow One?
Really?
Yeah, he was originally going to voice it, but then he dropped out of it.
Well, that would have been cool to get voice. I mean, the guy that you had voicing it now is still pretty good. Shadow One, that was interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry about that.
yeah, it would have been.
Well, the placement was just as good.
Yeah, Chaos is voiced by Jerkus360, who is making the soundtrack of the series.
Oh, wait, he made the soundtrack?
Yes, he is making the soundtrack of the series.
That's pretty sweet.
That's the thing. I like the music. I was about to ask you, where did you get the music at the beginning?
Yep, it was all made by him. I pretty much wanted to make like the series a bit of originality, have like somewhat of originality, rather than using overused music. And originally I was going to like use like soundtracks from Durarara, or like various movies and stuff. But then I'm like, oh well, let's have like an original soundtrack.
Well, yeah, at least he's like Bob Babylon. That would have been just like a little bit overused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts on this episode?
Besides you putting cliffhangers? Not really, but the characters are good, villains are great, and you got a good story going on.
Yeah, I agree with Bionic Girl. I mean, it is a really good story. I agree with you on the cliffhangers. You could use a few less cliffhangers to add to the suspense. You know, characters, the mocks are very well done. The masks seem to fit almost perfectly, whereas some characters, the masks don't seem to fit their personality, but the masks seem to fit pretty well here. I know that doesn't make much sense to most people, but it makes sense to me. But yeah, overall, a great episode.
So, I think we might be done here. I guess. Alright, anyway. This is Mega Bionic Man 3000. Yeah.
PBcheckit.
Oh, BionicGirl103.
And we are signing off.